I would like the museum to be a place for people to hang out, just like on a public square, but with the plus that there's art, you know, just to hang out with art. And to use it in a certain way without looking at it necessarily all the time, you know, just sit there, talk to your friends. I think it's better to sit with your friends and have a Van Gogh or Andy Warhol or whatever behind you than sitting somewhere else. So why shouldn't a museum be a place to go and hang out? Sit, smoke, eat, sleep, whatever, but something that is used for something else than just staring at something, you know? The camouflage is something I'm really interested in because it is a technique that is invented, which is a visual technique which is invented to not see something. I think that's an interesting paradox. And it kind of falls in place with my work in the sense that I'm not against visuality at all, and the dazzle camouflage especially is something that's very graphic and very visual, but it kind of carries the idea that something is not only there to see, it's also something that you could maybe experience in another way, or experience the idea of the visual in a kind of a counter logic way. I actually do like putting my cigarette out in the rest of my food on the plate, but it's not only that. Maybe a lot of people find it disgusting, but I think it doesn't matter because it's also kind of a sign of, you know, like something that is used in a certain way, and I really enjoy food and I love food and I have a lot of respect for food. You know, at the end of a meal and you have a cigarette, suddenly the food becomes something else. An ashtray or a way to put out your cigarette, you know? So it's just a matter of perspective and interpretation, how you're using something. And even if you love something, and you know, even that love always comes to an end, and then you love it for something else. And in that case, after I ate most of it, I can still use the rest, and even if it's just like a dash of a sauce. I think the interesting thing about art is that you can have different perspectives on it. It's important that an artwork is open enough for different interpretation, open enough to misinterpretation, and different perspectives. So I rather believe in the artist not being somebody to tell other people something. I rather believe in the artist to give people a problem. And then with that problem they can deal, and that problem maybe enables them to be creative in a way that they normally wouldn't be without being confronted with an artwork that is a problem. The story about me always wanting a Van Gogh painting as a child was not so much about you know, the value of it or having a painting on the wall. What I really wanted was always to sleep on a Van Gogh, you know, because I always had this idea as a child that if you're very close to it, and if you're sleeping on it, you also have a kind of a certain understanding of it that is deeper than just looking at it. And I really wanted to have a kind of a physical encounter with it. That was something that fascinated me as a child.